Mike, and we're going to be talking everything Barrett-Jackson today. We got some really exciting stuff. We're also going to review a cruise that we have coming up in San Diego if you're local, and some other awesome announcements. That being said, let's roll that intro footage.
Hey Instagram, we're rolling some intro footage that you can't see.
Already closed. Some of these cars got away, but we are back live on Facebook and Instagram. So here we are. It's Friday. We normally have a tailgate in our garage, but today we want to do something a little bit different because the Barrett-Jackson live auction is going on right now, online only, compared to what they normally have, which is the full show, which is always a spectacle to watch. But we figured there's no sports, there's nothing else to do right now. Let's go ahead and do some color commentary on the live broadcast, which should be fun. And if you haven't noticed, I have a claw. It's a horrible accident with a tequila bottle that I'll maybe share at a later time. But I had to get surgery last week. I'm doing fine. Thanks for.
No tequila involved, just tequila.
Just a tequila bottle.
Just a tequila bottle.
Yeah. There was an attempt.
Yeah.
At tequila.
It almost got there.
Tequila strikes back.
There was an attempt. Oh, also, if you guys have, so we kind of made this a Q&A. So if you guys have questions about RM10, anything about the Chevelle, anything about how the sweepstakes works, anything about your membership, any questions like that, just fire them into the comments. Are we doing the t-shirt giveaways today too?
No t-shirt giveaway today.
Oh.
No t-shirt giveaways today.
We could give away a t-shirt today.
Let's give away a t-shirt.
Let's give away a t-shirt today.
Let's just be like, hey, if there's some really awesome comments, we'll do one-off.
This isn't going to be a random selection. This is going to be a
hand selection.
Hand-selected.
Comments. Anyone who leaves a really awesome question or an interesting comment, will be selecting one winner.
A couple, maybe
winner,
five, maybe
two,
one,
three.
maybe none.
We're going to do some swag bags, some shirts, and some other cool stuff that we have at Restomods. If you didn't know, we're giving away a 1971 supercharged Chevelle. And if you didn't know that by now and you're watching this, you might have been living under a rock.
Well, you haven't been watching our
2
videos,
months.
that's for
You
sure.
haven't been watching anything.
Yeah.
Which is fine. You're here
You
now.
haven't opened
We appreciate
Instagram in the last 2 months.
So we're giving that car away. To enter to win, you can become a Restomods Car Club member for $8.95. You're going to get 10 entries every single month you're a member, or you can buy some sick stuff in our shop, like this shirt, this hat, these koozies.
You can buy a fuel additive, an oil filter, all kinds of auto parts.
Cleaning products.
Stuff you're going to buy anyways, but if you buy it from us, you get a chance to win a badass car.
Yeah, we've been growing this brand for the past couple of years, and we're excited that our Car Club members are loving everything that's happening. We've given away 9 cars to date. We have another one in the books, and then we'll be announcing RM11 right after the Chevelle closes.
And also, RM9, which I know a lot of people were into, was a 1969 Charger, basically a brand new 1969 Charger. And we weren't able, typically we'll fly a winner out here to San Diego to hang out with us, give them the keys to the car, have them drive around, put them up in a nice hotel, fly them home, and then ship them the car. We weren't able to do that with RM9 yet, but we are very happy to announce. Are we announcing right now?
We did. Announce it.
Let's announce it. So our winner of RM9, Ronald Gear, is actually coming. We're finally able to get him here. Restrictions have eased enough to where we can fly him here to San Diego. And when is that happening?
Next week.
Next week.
A week from today.
A week from today. So a week from today, our RM9 winner will be here. We will, of course, be going live. We will, of course, be posting video of us handing the keys to that winner. And so we're really excited to finally be able to do that.
Super excited.
We're going to do a cruise with them, not Friday, but Saturday, right?
Saturday morning.
Yeah.
We're going to do a little cruise up the coast.
What is that, the 25th?
The 24th.
24th.
So Saturday the 24th. I believe it's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, so we'll send out some additional details, but ProjectKinney.org is an awesome nonprofit that supports military veterans. They basically train dogs specifically for military veterans with PTSD, and these dogs are incredible. Anytime someone starts getting super anxious, they're trained to actually go up to them and make them calm down. They've saved the lives of dozens of service members. They train the dog and give the dog along with a year's supply of food for absolutely free. Check out ProjectKinney.org. They're going to do a cruise. We're going to donate to them and organize some of our cars are going to be out there. Ron's going to be out there. We're going to have some fun cruising all along the coast. So if you're in Southern California, or if you want to make the trip out to Southern California, we're going to do that next Saturday, Memorial Day weekend. It's going to be from probably 9:30 until 10:30, 11. We're going to go all the way up the coast from Pacific Beach to Oceanside, and details to that on that will come. But that's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun and an opportunity for us to support our military families. Obviously, it's Memorial Day, so that holiday is to honor our fallen heroes and people who've made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. So anything that we can do to support our troops and anyone in uniform, we're always happy to do. And so it's an awesome opportunity to partner up with Project Kenny.
And how about the fact that Ron's a vet?
I was going to say that.
Ron was in the Navy? Or?
He's an Army veteran. His son is currently in the Navy.
Oh, so awesome. So
Ron's
going to come out here.
Yep.
Is he coming with his son?
His son's going to come. He's also got a buddy coming as well. So
okay, it's going to be a full crew.
Yep.
Fortunately, the Charger could fit.
You got seats. Yeah.
You got lots of seats.
Ready to rock.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
American flags. Just a nice slow cruise. Everyone's going to be social distancing. No one is allowed out of their car. We're going to make sure that's put out there, that we're going to follow all the local codes to make sure that this is a safe event, that everyone has a lot of fun, and we could cruise on our pride and joys all the way up the coast. So that's
what was that?
Is it Saturday's the 23rd?
Yes.
Okay, so May 23rd, Saturday, we'll be doing the cruise. So if you want, it's an opportunity for anybody who can get to San Diego on that date. Get to meet us, get to check out some cool cars, get to show off your car, get to meet the winner of RM9 and watch him enjoy. I think that'll be day 2 that he's had the keys and enjoying his car. So a really cool opportunity. If you've been following Restomods, followed along with RM9 or any of our other sweepstakes, a cool opportunity to see all that in person.
And we'll have the active sweepstakes, the Chevelle out there.
RM10 will be there as well.
We'll have the 69 GMC truck that we just purchased a month or so ago.
Yeah, a month
It's been a good couple months with Old Blue, and
Joe put some mounted some nice flags on it too. So as we're cruising, we'll be definitely representing as well.
Find us.
And we'll have the Charger out there, so that'll be awesome. It'll be good to get outside, and hopefully anybody in San Diego, if you're available, come join us. Come help Ronald enjoy his first drive in his car.
All right, we got a little Barrett-Jackson update. So the reason for the broadcast today, we wanted to talk about the lots that are coming to an end. This one's about to close, a 1984 Ford Mustang GT 350. The reserve hasn't been met yet. The current bid's at $17,000. There's a minute and 33 seconds left. Jeremy, we switched over to, we're sharing this so you guys could actually see the terms in here.
That's a good 80s muscle car right there.
It's
the last one time we did a live, we talked about our 80s muscle cars, the best of the worst. This has got to be up there. That thing is sweet.
It gets Joe pretty excited just because it's a Mustang.
Joe's in. Look at that interior. It's clean.
What is that,
Those
velvet?
are like Recaro seats. Yeah, those are sick, dude. The 80s are wild, man.
How it works, it's similar to Bring a Trailer or other online auctions where if someone makes a bid right now, the bidding will get extended another 5 minutes, I believe. The reserve hasn't been met, so I don't know if this is actually going to make it. Who knows what that reserve is, but as of right now, the bid is $17,250. I registered and I made sure my limit was low just in case I accidentally clicked on something. So that's how you can see this. If you haven't registered yet, you can register to bid on Proxy Bid or go to Barrett-Jackson.com and you could get in to win any of these cars. So yeah, we'll see.
Subtle.
26 seconds left. I doubt this thing's gonna.
Is there any way I can bid $20?
So you're saying it's $16,980 too much?
Yes.
Okay.
In my opinion.
I think
it does look brand new though. It's still got this. I mean, that thing. It
I
doesn't
would
have like 5 miles on it.
I would definitely drive it.
Is there mileage on this?
Someone came.
Oh yeah, there we go. We're back. Someone's up there.
They're waiting to the last second.
I like that though.
What's the mileage?
I like the extender. Dude, that thing sat in a garage somewhere.
4,800
miles, almost 5,000
miles.
miles. That's crazy. But with that said, that's got to be one of the worst GT350s ever made.
It was just a trim package.
Was it? No engine changes at all?
I mean, it's what, 302?
There's a bidding war happening. It just got extended another 2 minutes. I did want to show off a couple cars that got away, and or they didn't.
Is that the Daytona?
Yes. That thing's cool.
It's so wild.
Look how big that wing is. That's rad.
It's got the pointy front end like the Daytona, the old Daytona.
This was up to I think 20. It was like mid 20s, and the reserve wasn't met, so it got passed.
Oh man.
Yeah, there wasn't.
Somebody put a ton of work into that.
It's pretty rad.
Nobody bought it. That's
It made it to 20. I'd pay 20 for that thing.
Let's see, zoom in there a little bit.
It's a cool concept, but I don't know, man.
I'd roll that thing around.
It's wild.
If they try to put that on a modern Charger, then.
I don't know though, but it wasn't the Daytona
But the
Charger body.
The modern Chargers are 4 doors, right?
Yeah.
Right, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
the Challengers
true,
are
yeah.
2 doors, right? Look at that thing. That thing is sick.
That's
Rad.
pretty wild.
But
Yeah.
how
I'd
much would
push
you
that
pay
thing.
for it?
Has it got pop-ups?
I'd go
Pop-up
20 on that
headlights?
thing.
20.
Oh, dude! I mean, the stock
Yeah.
Challenger is like 50 grand. Like,
What engine is
yeah,
in
I
that
paid
thing?
20 for that all
Is
day.
there a Hemi in that thing?
Yeah, 5.6.
Yeah, 5.7.
5.7. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that may be back on the lot at some point.
What else do they have coming
Yeah,
out?
I need something. else.
Let's check it out. This one is up to 17.5. That Ford GT Mustang 350, 1984.
Still not reserved.
Somebody's holding out for some money. See, what'll typically happen at Barrett-Jackson and other popular car auctions is if the reserve isn't met, they have all these cars in tents and staging areas outside of the bidding area. And so what'll happen is if the reserve isn't met, then the car will go to like something like a bid goes on area or something like that. And you can walk out there and talk to the owners, but yeah, what's it going to take to get this thing out? And you can come to a deal just out there, which is what'll typically happen. I can't imagine that happening in this format. Somebody else bid?
Yeah, it's 17.75. Every
There's
single
interest
time
for
someone
sure,
bids,
man.
another 2 minutes are added, which is fun. One of the ones that got away was.
And when is that? The Dale Earnhardt
Oh,
car
look
is
at
tomorrow,
this steal.
right?
1952 GMC 101 pickup
I think
for
sweet.
$24,250.
That thing's
I
cool.
think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think this.
What is that, an inline
Engine
6?
isn't very cool, but
I mean, it's probably all original.
it's all original. Yeah.
Yeah, so that one actually did close.
It looks really nice.
Yeah.
It's a cool retro truck.
And the other one that the pace car didn't end up selling. I think that was only at around like 20 or 30K.
I never understood the love and the allure of the pace cars. What about that 66?
Oh yeah, sold for Ford.
Oh yeah, we looked at that one a couple weeks ago, right?
You know we
40
love
grand?
those
That's
things.
not bad.
Yeah, that's.
What was the engine in that one? It was something crazy, I believe.
I love that Hugger orange.
That's nice.
That's
really
a little
nice.
350?
350, yeah.
No air though. I mean, really clean.
Yeah, well, it's
Great
gone.
stance
It's gone forever.
for 40. I think that's
Good
well
looking.
bought.
Yeah, it's good looking.
The Wrangler ended up selling for 25. That lot was met. And then there was this guy was passed. I think that was up to 30 or
Old
40.
Mercury
Yes,
truck.
reserve
That thing's
not bad.
bad.
Barrett-Jackson reviewed this one. It's a sick truck. 1950 Mercury M47 pickup. Really clean, well done. All
They were
original.
talking on the live, their own live, about that this truck is very rare, a Mercury truck, and that it's all restored to original,
Awesome.
which is, it's not a resto.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those before.
Yeah. We were talking
It's
a
a
little
good
bit
looking
about
truck,
this with the
looks
interview with Craig on the allure of Restomods versus like restored, and the fact that when you have a Restomod or just a fully restored car and you start driving, you're like, this doesn't drive.
He had a
Sometimes.
great clip. I mean, we even talked about that interview. Really, we had an opportunity to sit down and talk with Craig Jackson, who is the Jackson in Barrett-Jackson. He's the CEO and chairman, and his dad was one of the founders. And he's just done an amazing job with Barrett-Jackson, obviously growing it into the enormous worldwide brand it is now. And so to get a chance to sit down and rap with him was really, really cool. He's just a wealth of automotive knowledge. And a huge fan of Restomods. I mean, he has his own garage that builds him his own Restomods to his own specs, and so it was really cool. And he had I don't know, maybe 30 seconds to a minute where he described Restomods and the allure of Restomods to a T. I don't know. Do we have that queued up? Let's
Hold
share.
on, before we go to that, a little update. The 1984 Ford Mustang passed, didn't get up there.
Gone.
It was almost a
Don't
20K.
ever interrupt me for an 80s muscle car
Well,
again.
Chris has $20 if that guy still wants to sell it.
The 78 Pontiac Firebird.
Dude,
trades in.
that's
Macho
almost
coupe.
40 grand, dude.
That's
The
That's
macho
pretty damn
coupe.
good.
the reserve has not been met yet. There's only
Oh,
1
okay.
minute left, so someone has to bid
Oh, that one will get
40K
bid
in
up a
order for
little
it to
bit.
get extended. This thing.
Were you
guys
seeing
talked
that going
about it a
for
little
40
bit.
grand?
No.
I was in surgery when you guys were talking about this last week.
What do they call those wheels? The snowflake wheels? Or-
Honeycombs.
Honeycomb,
Don't try
yeah.
to,
Oh wow,
Don't try to downplay my
I'm not
ride,
downplaying. I
dude.
mean, it's a cool looking car. It's just if it was a post 72, I'm not buying it.
I mean, I feel like that is one of the best years of Trans Ams though. The honeycomb wheels, that's like the same as the Smokey and the Bandit.
I was gonna
car.
say, what year is
I want to
Smokey
say
and the
it was a
Bandit?
77. If anybody
Yeah.
knows, correct me because I could be wrong.
Question for you: do you think when they were taking the photos of this car that they're like, you know what? Let's add a tractor.
Let's
in
just
it.
put that backhoe in the back.
Let's just throw it in.
I mean, it is the
It's
macho.
missing
It is the
something.
macho Trans Am, so could have put a squat rack in the back and had a bunch of
22 seconds
beefy
left
dudes
on
getting
this
it,
guy.
22 seconds.
All right.
Will it get bid up? I don't know, man.
That's a lot of
There's
money for that car.
somebody out there that has dreamed of that car since they were a young kid.
The
That was a
reserve
lot
hasn't
of
been
money
met
for
yet.
that car.
So.
Is it going? It's gonna go.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Come on! She gone.
Spur. Let's make sure.
Does it say what the reserve was?
No.
Man, not a fan of reserves.
And that's typically the cool thing about Barrett-Jackson is they'll do no reserve on most of their stuff, but that's when the cars are in person and they do a great job of vetting the car so you know you're getting the best of the best, and plus you can put eyes on them, see them in
So we have a
person,
90?
talk to the
Check
builders.
that one out. That was pretty cool.
All right. So next up, we got 3 minutes left of this 1990 Chevy Corvette ZR1.
Reserve is met or it's gonna sell.
Oh, the reserve has been met,
Those are
so it's
sweet.
at 21,750. This car will close in the next 5 minutes.
Mike, you were talking
That car
about
probably
if
hauls.
we would get something like this if we were ever to get into autocross.
That's a prime autocross.
That'd be a
car.
perfect autocross
Yeah,
car.
That would be a blast. I mean, it's ZR1 too. That's. I
So
mean,
we got
that's
a
the
couple
top of
minutes
the line,
left before this one closes. I think it should be extended. Let's roll that clip of Craig Jackson, the CEO of Barrett-Jackson. We sat down with him a couple days ago. Awesome dude, so down to earth. Like the guy has hundreds of cars. He could drive anything he wants. And we got a short clip about him talking about Restomods.
I love getting a car and taking it out and actually driving it, and I don't feel bad that if I'm going outside of that, say, radius of where I know I'm in civilization, or I know where I can get 110 octane at whatever fuel I run into. It's mapped, it'll figure it out, and we can drive it. I know it's dependable. That's the beauty of a Restomod. It's comfortable, it stops, I can listen to XM radio, I can sync my phone up to it. It's got all the modern creature comforts in an old looking body, but everything has been customized to what you want. And that's why we sell them at Barrett-Jackson. We started selling them about 05, and back then we were criticized for it, but you got to be a trend leader in everything. With our online auction, I'm seeing, we got some great Restomods in there, and they're not all one genre. So you see them across all different types of genres of cars because that's what people want. It's whatever your taste is, we'll have something for you.
So having him talk about that and then what you can do with the Restomod after.
We're back.
Welcome back, everybody. We were just talking about our interview with Craig Jackson and just talking about with him about some of the cars he's had, some of the cars he dreamed about, and then he got them, and once he drove them, he realized all the things that were lacking in, even a dream car.
Yeah. What I loved too was when he started talking about, you asked him, like, how do you select a car to drive to work every day? He said, based on the weather. He lives in Scottsdale, which the weather is the same 340 days out of the year. But
So you would say 340 degrees, which is also true.
Also could be accurate.
Yeah, so he mentioned that he drives one car from his house to work and a different car from work home every single day.
Well, the
And
size
then
of his
exercise.
collection is just an incredible chore to maintain, and you have to drive these cars. His term was the best, though. You have to exercise the cars, what he said.
Yeah.
I got to exercise my cars. So yeah, he'll drive one from home to the office and drive a different one back home from the office, and that kind of allows him to rotate the cars, get a couple miles on the odometer, and then also probably, he's got guys there that are servicing him, so if he drives it, he notices a problem, hey, fix this thing. And he's mentioned there's always some little thing. What was it? His big gripe was the XM. Even though I paid the subscription and I had hooked it up and it wasn't working, but that's one he called out. But I'm sure there's always something, something with a car where a light's not working or.
He mentioned 70 cars in his personal collection that he's driving all the time. So it's like the logistics of that
Oh yeah.
is huge. I mean, that's a problem I'd love to have.
Right.
I would be happy to deal with it right now, but after doing that a while, that would That's a
Oh,
chore.
yeah. There's 10 seconds left in this 1990 Corvette ZR1. It's currently at 22,500. Is it gonna go?
That's a whole lot of fun for 22 grand.
Dude, that would be a blast.
The reserve was met. I think it's.
I think it's good. It's gone.
I think it's gone either way, or it's extended.
Those body styles.
Sold!
They don't get a ton of love,
$22,500.
but I feel like I've seen a few of those done really, really well. Especially the ZR1. It's got all the power, but those done really well look amazing.
Oh, I saw this car. So this is the next one up. The 2013 Camaro ZL1 Custom Coupe, which has a LSA supercharger in it.
It's a
So
brand
it's
new
already
car.
meant
It's
reserve,
only
too.
32 grand.
And those, I mean, how much horsepower is that thing? I mean, I feel like the
Like
Camaros are
10,
leading the
bro.
way in like, horsepower per dollar.
It's got a
spent.
bunch of
600.
Lingenfelter parts. Those guys are huge. Those are
600 rear
huge
wheel
horsepower.
horsepower.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a heck of a lot of miles per gallon.
Dude, that's not a bad price either for something like that. I mean,
The reserve has been met, so someone's going to take this home. I have a feeling that the bidding might get extended on this guy. If you're just tuning in, we're talking everything Barrett-Jackson Day. The online auction is happening.
It's live.
Currently, we're looking at a 2013 Camaro ZL1 Custom Coupe that has been. Is that the same exact engine?
that's
as
the same.
That's the same
exact
supercharger. It's the same cover.
Yeah.
Not the same engine. Okay.
No.
Different engine, same supercharger though.
I was gonna say,
Love those
Yeah, that
seats.
has what does this have in it? LS3.
I'm not sure. Go look.
We got a couple questions here. Have we given away the Chevelle yet? Nope.
No.
That closes
June
soon.
19th.
June 19th. Still plenty of time to get in. If you become a Restomods Car Club member for $8.95, you get 10 entries every single month that you're a member. You get awesome discounts to our shop, as well as discounts on auto parts, some of our premium sponsors, and like California Car Cover, which has been a sponsor of ours for
These
years.
guys are awesome. Yep.
Make amazing car covers. You buy one car cover, the membership pays for itself, 5 times over. So there's a lot of great benefits there, but
Forever Sharp's in there as well.
Forever Sharp.
Yeah, the important part is that we're almost a month away from closing that one. So don't wait and get your entries in to win RM10, which is that 71 Chevelle, supercharged Chevelle. You got about a month left to enter for that one. We'll close that and be handing somebody the keys soon.
Oh, that's gonna be exciting.
Always
Temp.
is.
Temp.gzz asked, where is she? She's in the garage.
She's in the other room, right over there.
She's sleeping.
Maybe if you ask nicely, Joe will walk you over there and take a look after this.
Yeah, potentially. Maybe.
Why not?
Maybe.
Why not?
Maybe if Carter decides it's okay.
Yeah. It depends on if other cars are covered in there.
Ooh, good point. There are some things in there.
Yeah. If you're watching this live, you know what that means.
You know what that means, baby.
We got some cool stuff in
What
our
does
shop.
that mean?
So we got 1 minute, 20 seconds left.
What does that even mean?
You know,
I don't know.
1
It gets
minute.
people going.
20 seconds left for this Camaro ZL1 Custom Coupe on Barrett-Jackson.com. The Dale Earnhardt car, the charity car that they're giving away, that he talked about a little bit, an actual winning NASCAR that
Yeah.
Dale Earnhardt drove in.
I think a ton of races.
Yeah.
And then he won at what, Rockford?
Rockingham, I believe is what it
Rockingham?
was.
One of those rocks.
Something
Are
right.
they bidding on that one yet?
That's tomorrow after.
No, I think it comes up tomorrow. But I mean, that's
It-
just like
no, it's
someone's
open.
gonna do it for Dale on that one.
Yeah.
They're all open, right? I mean, you can bid right
Yeah.
now, but they
It
have
What's it at right now?
But they're staggered out to when they close, correct?
Yes.
So I believe what he said was the 100 lot cars, everything that we're looking at right now closes today,
Yeah.
and there's a handful of cars that close tomorrow, and then through Sunday, right?
I looked at it
Yeah.
yesterday,
I'd
and
say
the
it
Dale
too.
Earnhardt car was up at 255K.
Damn.
That's gonna go for $1 million
They don't,
bucks.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all going to great causes. It's going to Feeding America, and it's going to Samaritan's Purse, which benefits COVID frontline first responders,
Yeah.
which just amazing
They're
causes.
pretty awesome.
And
They
shout out to
all-
Richard Childress for
Yeah.
donating a car from his personal collection that is just one of a kind. I mean, there's
Priceless
just,
car.
it's a priceless
Yeah.
car, and someone's going to get a great
Oh,
piece of NASCAR history.
3,
Somebody's going to do it for Dale.
1. Oh, someone walked away with a steal there. 32.5.
man.
That's well
For
bought.
That's such a great car, and I think like stuff like that, it's so custom that you kind of you narrow your audience a little bit.
Yeah.
It looks great, and I'm sure
That's a badass
most
car.
people would drive that, but the person who's gonna buy it, you have to find that specific
That's a badass
person.
car.
Congratulations
badass
to
car,
K
man.
star.
600 horsepower.
If that were on a dealership lot, would that be like a 60,000?
Dude, that's 50, 60
Yeah.
grand probably, I would assume.
To the right guy, but I mean,
But
that's a
yes.
steal. I think that's really well bought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's pull up that
See the Dale car?
Dale car. And we got any questions from Facebook? Do you guys have any questions about the car club, about the Chevelle, or any questions about life in general? We'll do our best to answer.
Life.
Put some questions in. Jeremy,
Life at night,
our
advice
live
manager.
stream operator, content extraordinaire, will send it over to us. Type your questions in now. And also, quick reminder, whoever has the best, most interesting, relevant, fun comment will get a swag bag.
We're giving away swag, t-shirts, hats, something.
Yeah.
We'll reward cool comments and questions with
And if you like what
free
we've been,
swag.
if you like what we've been talking about, hit that share button. Help us out. Help us help you. Spread the message about Restomods to
Just
everyone.
help us.
Just help us. Help you. Helping
Help
us.
us. Yeah.
Just help us help you to some free swag.
Yeah. Give me a second to pull this up. In the meantime, you guys want to talk about the cruise again and projectkinney.org?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as we mentioned earlier, but if you're just joining us, the winner of RM9, that 1969 Charger, if you haven't seen that car, go back in our videos, go back on our page and look at that car. It's basically a brand new 1969 Charger with a brand new rebuilt 440,
Phi-Tech.
pistol grip 4-speed, Phi-Tech fuel injection. It is a badass car. And Ronald Gear of Jackson, Missouri won that car at the end of RM9, but because of COVID and everything, we weren't able to get him here to pick up his car yet, but we finally did all the logistics and everything, and he's coming out here a week from today.
Yep.
So we'll be going live with Ronald as he gets his keys and takes his
he's
first
excited.
cruise. I know he's pumped. I would be. I
Super
mean, can you
excited.
imagine?
It's been almost 2 months.
It's been 2 months. And just knowing that you won that car and it's sitting there waiting for you, but you haven't picked it up. So
Yeah.
that's just a weird kind of thing with us. I'll take one of those.
I can't get into it with my right
and
hand.
so he'll be out.
Tequila.
He'll be out here next week, a week from today, and then we're going to do a cruise for a very deserving charity, which is
ProjectKinney.org. They train service dogs for service members with PTSD. So if someone has anxiety, PTSD, they start getting stressed out in stressful situations, the dog is trained to literally go up to them and be with them to calm them down. If someone has a seizure, there's all sorts of very specific things that they do with these dogs for someone with PTSD. ProjectKinney.org. We're going to have a link on our site, and we're going to create a bunch of content, show off these cars, and cruise along the coast. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so if you're around San Diego or in the Southern California area or planning on being in San Diego, you can totally join up with us in person.
Be awesome.
Meet us in person. Check out the RM10 71 Chevelle, which will be a part of the cruise. Check out RM9, which is the 69 Charger, which will be driven by the winner of RM9, Ronald Gear, who will be in town to pick up his prize. So either get here or make sure you're paying attention to our social media, YouTube, etc., to follow along with that cruise and watch Ronald get his keys.
Super excited.
All right, so I got the Dale Earnhardt car up here.
Woo, 255K.
It's at 250. That's what it was at yesterday. So I think this thing is going to start moving.
It's going to go to 1 million. Once they do the live and everything and they're there
Dude,
looking at this
look
thing.
at that thing.
Look at that garage.
That's such an iconic
It
car, though.
has his DNA still on it, guaranteed.
They haven't watched it.
If you want to make your own Dale Earnhardt at some point.
Someone's going to do this one for Dale.
Yeah, this car is nuts.
Cletus McFarland?
Cletus!
How is
Come
Cletus
on.
not buying this car? He's so rich. He owns his own racetrack. Buy the car. Come
Yeah.
on, Cletus. Do something for charity.
Will you guys tag Cletus in this video so that he knows we're calling him out, that he needs to buy this car for his track?
Dude, I want to ride in it if he does.
Guys, comment below how much you think this car will be sold for.
How much do you think Facebook and YouTube this car will be sold for? We got any
This is a
questions?
race driven. It's been driven in 4 some odd races. Dale won at Rockingham in this car, stepped out, same drivetrain, same everything. It's been cleaned up and kind of tuned up a little bit so it's ready for the winner to drive. But this is a real Dale Earnhardt race driven, race winning car, and all the proceeds go to charity. I mean, how is some rich guy not, well, I shouldn't say that because some rich guy is going to step up to the plate and buy this. I hope it's Cletus.
Hope it's Cletus.
Because he's going to do it for
look
Dale.
At that, though. It's so epic.
Ty Polo says it's going to go for 350K.
Oh,
Way
man,
more.
way more.
Way more.
Look.
Way more. That
Yeah,
thing's going to be
that
$1
thing's
million
not-
bucks.
It's not
we
seeing
got
less
a
than a
bigger number
million.
here. OG_Dirk5150, 2.5 million.
It's high.
That's high.
Good.
But maybe, I mean, it could. I mean, and there's also, you got to imagine, there's guys out there that are huge NASCAR fans that see the news, that see, you know, our first responders out there that are trying to, you know, doing their best trying to protect the public. They see food lines where people have lost their jobs and are out there trying to get stuff. This is a great opportunity for someone to donate a ton of money to help both of those causes and walk away with this one-of-a-kind piece of history. Someone's going to step up and put this at a huge, huge number.
No buyer's fee. Barrett-Jackson. Barrett-Jackson.
No more beers for that man.
Barrett-Jackson is making sure that this is a zero buyer fee. The buyer and the seller aren't going to pay the typical fee that goes along with bidding on any of the auction items. So it's help out a great cause.
Which is a lot of money. Typical buyer's fee is 10%. Typical seller's fee is around 10%. They negotiate different ones there. But yeah, I mean, Barrett-Jackson's been doing this for years. I mean, they've donated. We asked, I think it was 126 million they've donated over the years.
Like that,
To and not them donating. It's obviously their buyers in the car community, but they're
Yeah.
facilitating it all. They're getting all the buyers together to buy cars and
making it
putting
happen.
cars up. They're making the whole thing
Yeah.
happen, and they're donating all of their fees, which is amazing. So they've done this for many, many years, and this is yet another opportunity for people to step up, get a piece of automotive history, and donate to some very, very worthy causes.
I'm just sad we don't get to see this thing go across the block. You know,
I would want to be there in person.
like
and see this
I
thing,
just
'cause
want
they
to
would
see
fire
this
it up
thing,
and
man.
everything.
Yeah, like
Can you imagine how loud that
it's
car
gotta
is?
be just, dude. I mean, that to me is NASCAR right there. Like that car and that specific.
I mean, there's
that
Richard
era,
Petty,
man.
and then there's Dale.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
My family, I was always from Northern California. We're Jeff Gordon people.
mm-hmm.
My grandma and my uncles were Dale people, and I remember growing up, that like rivalry was so epic.
it was huge.
And
Well, here in San Diego, we're Jimmy Johnson people because
hey, I like Jimmy too. That was that was Jeff's.
I could see somebody like Jimmy Johnson stepping up and buying this
dude,
car for
for
$1 million
sure,
bucks.
absolutely.
Probably outbid
Just another
Cletus.
race car driver.
Yeah. Good luck.
We have a few questions.
Yeah.
Shoot
And
'em.
Tom says he thinks it'll go for $988.
Solid.
Yeah.
A very specific number.
I like it.
Yeah, SS Gilmore said 900K.
Just, Late Night Lou says,
Late Night Lou.
idea-
Shout out to Late Night Lou.
Yeah. Ideas, hints, or has RM11 been selected without mentioning it, of course?
Should we just tell him? RM11 is in the garage already.
It
We're doing a couple minor tweaks to it, but RM11 is maybe the most beautiful car I've
It's
ever
locked
seen
in
in person.
already. Yeah. Not only.
It's a car we've never done before.
Wow, that's a big.
I don't want to say too much.
That's a huge hint right there.
I don't want to say too much.
That's a huge hit.
I don't
We've
wanna
done a
say
lot
too
of
much.
cars, and
We
we've
have
done a lot of extras. There are two of multiple, so
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
that's
car
a big
we've
hit.
never done before, and it is incredibly
it's
beautiful.
epic. Yeah, it's epic.
But that's not for a while. We're
Yeah.
still in RM10, and you've got a month left to get your entries in for that, and we'll be giving that away in about a month.
All right.
Jimmy and Sonny asked how you get entered, how you become a VIP. So just
Sure, yeah, absolutely. We get that question a ton. You can go to restomods.com, click on the sweepstakes link right there. That'll prompt you to sign up for our membership. It's $8.95 a month. You get 10 entries every month to win the car. Whichever car we're giving away, we give away a car about every 3 months. You also get a ton of other benefits, free classified ads, discounts in our store, discounts at a bunch of other nationwide automotive retailers and manufacturers. So I mean, yeah, like Chris said, one purchase and that membership can pay for itself. Plus, it's only $9, the cost of a couple beers or a couple cups of coffee, whichever side of that particular aisle you are on. You can also go to our store. Just go to restomods.com/shop. You can pick up a hat, t-shirt. You get one entry for every $1 spent. You can also pick up auto parts in there, care car
products.
car care products, basically stuff you would buy
Air
anyways.
fresheners,
But if you
keychains.
buy it from
Oh.
us, you get entries to win.
I got a quick update. Stop the press.
Hold on, whoa. Stop all the presses. Are
wait,
you
wait.
talking about the winner of
19
RM8?
Heather.
The Chevelle can wait. Let's talk about Heather.
Heather says, is it more beautiful than Roxy?
The new one or the Chevelle?
Well, she's comparing RM11
Yeah.
to RM8, and Heather is the winner of that 67 Fastback, which was an incredibly beautiful
Matte
car.
gray.
Matte gray, gunmetal, just a beautiful, beautiful car. Heather, I mean, I don't ever want to say anything that would disagree with you, and so I'm going to let you decide when RM11 is announced. You tell us.
And tell us which one of your children is more beautiful, Heather. That's what you're effectively asking us.
That's fair, I think. That's
all right,
fair, yeah.
real quick, we had 2 seconds left. 1 second left on 1967 Chevelle that just sold for $48,000.
So I like
That is
it.
beautiful.
I like it a lot.
Those are so great. 67, great year. The double headlight, and this is
396.
probably all numbers matching.
Oh, yeah.
So that was really well bought at $48,000, I think. if it's numbers matching with the real 396 in it, a real Super Sport. What are those? I forget the code on those.
138, right?
Yeah, I think it is a 138 code.
That
Look at
True
JoJo
SS.
Beans coming in with some Chevy knowledge.
138, that's right.
He still looks like Rambo to me with that
He
headband on.
definitely looks like Rambo. Can you
I'm
turn
not,
that?
I'm not flipping the
Can you
screen.
turn that Instagram on yourself?
He's
so,
like-
so the people know who's
He's
holding
like Rambo
them?
when he does that Jason Momoa where he peels off his muscles and stuff.
Congrats.
That Super Bowl coverage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
He's
mean,
like Rambo when he takes off the fake muscles. That's what Joe
I like
reminds
it,
me
yeah.
of right now.
It's a good look though.
All right, the next car up, there's about.
Well, and
4 minutes
don't
left.
cruise past that Sunbeam Tiger. That
Yeah,
is
we
a
talked
Carroll
about that
Shelby
one last
piece of
time, too.
history
Yeah.
right there.
They were talking about this. It's currently at 44,000. Reserve has not been met.
It's not a GT. The GTs will sell for like 130K.
Dude, that's a sweet
If you
car.
watch Ford versus Ferrari all the time, you saw some shots of Carroll Shelby zipping around in a Sunbeam Tiger. These are just really cool cars if you're a small person. So-
This was before,
Not for me.
right
It's not
before.
for
he
me.
went-
Is that American?
What was the story? Do you guys know the story behind it? It was like right before he went over to Ford.
So they were talking about this car on the live stream too with Barrett-Jackson. And this was the actual inspiration for the Cobra. They had a deal with Shelby. He wasn't
Oh,
the
that was it.
designer, but he basically put the engines in them. And then he took it and went to a different manufacturer and started creating the Shelbys.
The bodies.
Yeah, the
So
Cobras.
is this British or is this American?
This is an English car.
It's
with
English,
the,
okay.
With the American.
So the
engine.
same thing kind of with the early Cobra bodies where they were
With the
getting
AC
all-
Cobras.
The AC Cobras, they were
Yeah.
getting all those bodies from England.
But I mean, look at that dash and,
But that's-
go back to. I mean, if you've ever sat in a
Oh,
Cobra,
yeah, it's
that's
exact-
all
yeah.
very
Well,
familiar
that
to
wheel
you.
is very Ford, early Ford Mustang.
Yep.
You know, the 65 Ford Mustang is almost
Yep.
exactly the
Even
same.
the shifter.
The shifter looks exactly like a Cobra.
Shout out to Otto, who
Shout
won.
out to
Was
Otto.
that RM7?
RM5.
RM5.
Did Heather
Spent so many.
ever respond to my question?
Heather, yes, she said, "LOL, it's okay, deal." Show
Nice. For those of you who don't know, Heather was RM8 winner.
Yep.
The
Out of
Mustang.
Pensacola, Florida.
67 Mustang.
She's rolling a 67 Mustang fastback that
Oh
is.
yeah, we got a wall of fame here now.
Oh yeah, show off the Wall of Fame with no lights over
On
it.
Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Sorry.
There's a wall of fame. But yeah, Heather and William out of Florida. We had a great time when they were out here. Gave them an amazing 67 Mustang. We all actually, Joe and I really missed that car. I don't know what your
I like
guys.
that car.
I like that car a lot.
was top 3 for sure. That car, after the work we did on it, it drove amazing.
Yeah, and they've continued to customize it since they've had it
Yep.
and made some changes as well. And
It's definitely getting loved.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
how classic cars should be. You know, everybody gets them and kind of customize them a little bit, make them your own. You know.
Yeah, filming the promo video for that was a lot of fun. We had an abandoned warehouse pretty much that we used for the day, sprayed it down with water and
Water
just,
bagels.
yeah, it was so powerful that spraying with water was not necessary. We were just
Yeah, we were just
doing
having
little
fun.
spin-outs,
Still
but
fun.
It was it was good, and I'm glad I went to a great home.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember. I think that shoot was about 10 hours, and then I think cleaning the undercarriage after was about 10 hours as well.
At least.
Yeah.
Spraying down in retrospect, probably pictures are cool at least.
There was some cool video that came out of it.
Yeah.
And Heather got an awesome car.
Amazing car.
What do you think the reserve is on this guy, on the 65 Sunbeam Tiger?
Who knows? I mean,
So
some
that's a-
people imagine they're going to get some huge numbers for their cars.
That
I'd
just
say
went up
it's
quite
at
a bit
75K.
too.
I mean, the GTs of these will get 130K all day.
Does this have a 289 in it?
What was this at when we started? It's now at 60,000.
Does
That was
have
at 48.
39?
Yeah,
39 is like 40
40.
grand. Just went up 20K.
Yeah.
Damn.
Last minutes.
Still not met
Online
either.
auctions.
Can you scroll down and see what's under the hood? Oh, 260.
260 Ci V8.
61. Dude, it's so like it's so different not hearing the guy, you know, like
Yeah,
having a
good.
guy regulated and
You could do it.
We're at
63, 63, you want 63?
nobody wants me to do that.
No.
Yeah, no, there's a guy. That guy is talented. That's
Well, there's
you
a
know,
bunch. They go in shifts because these guys work out their vocal
Oh, you
cords so
doubt it,
much.
dude.
They do about like half an hour, and then they have to rotate out because
They're goofy as hell, too.
I never understood that in auctions in general. What is that? Is that just what happens now?
What? Just in like an auction of how do you? What do you mean? The guy talking? That's
The way that he talks. in
he's the
format.
narrator, man. That's how it works in every
I
auction.
know, but couldn't you just be like, all right, we got 63,000. Who won 60?
No, you
Is
gotta
that
get
gonna
that
get you
power
hyped
up,
up?
dude. You gotta get that excitement going.
You're trying to talk
So-
people into bidding,
thousands
More
of
so
dollars.
you wanna get 'em
yeah,
hyped up.
I'm saying like the really intense guys that are happy to do it. They do.
Well,
That's every guy.
Okay,
That's
just-
not just the really intense ones. That's every guy at every one of these auctions.
And also, every single auction does that. Whether you're buying a $60,000 car or like an old antique clock or
I
like
know.
a pig at a fair, like
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
all the you know,
all the same.
It's all because
And it's a skill. Oh, they just went to 70.
he's the hype man.
Reserve still
Dude,
not
that
bad. I
thing
think
is
this.
cranking, bro.
I'm
That is
gonna
cranking.
guess the reserve is at 75,000.
You think he's gonna hit 100?
I don't
I'll
think it's
say-
gonna go to 100. I
I
think the
wanna-
reserve's at 75.
That went up $40,000 since you put it on there. That's wild.
Is there a reason why they don't tell you what the reserve is?
Yes.
So you keep bidding.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a science to this, and obviously guys like Barrett-Jackson have got it all down. But you know, this is just a testament to the fact that Barrett-Jackson does have all the bidders. And so guys are sitting here, they're online, they haven't seen this car in person, but they trust the brand of Barrett-Jackson. Their experts have gone through the car, they've taken a ton of photos, they've verified that this is exactly what you think that you're buying, so that when you're going on here and you're bidding $70,000, you're gonna get your money's worth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the reserve's at 75.
Probably.
Terry from Facebook asked, does the Chevelle have a posi track rear end?
Yeah, 100%.
Yes, it does.
Yes, he
Yeah,
clearly
the
has not
Detroit
seen
True Track.
Detroit
right?
True
Yeah,
Track
with
posi.
411 gears and
4 flanges.
Ford flanges and custom axles, I want to say.
Yes.
But what he needs to do is go to the YouTube or the Facebook and go back and watch the dyno video where we put that thing on a dyno and we did a fat burnout where you can clearly see the Detroit True Track posi is doing its job.
I'm wearing a Charger.
Oh, that's the Charger burnout, which also has a posi.
Yeah.
But yes, in the answer there.
There's also a full build video where Chris and I go through that.
Oh,
whole
the build sheet
car.
video. After this one ends, maybe do we have the build sheet video queued?
I'll check and see if we do. If not, we can.
Yeah, because we can show him the build sheet where we go through the entire build sheet of that car. Mike
Yep.
and I walk through, and Mike's holding a folder about this big of all the custom parts that have gone onto that
Tons of
car.
stuff.
Oh, we missed one.
So wait, that's
while
up
we were
72,000.
waiting- Yeah, it's up to
Wow.
72.
We'll see if I'm right about
Yeah,
75.
I think 75 is a
Sunbeam.
good spot there.
Is up to 72. I think that one's going to keep on going for a little while.
Man,
Just to review, we missed one, which was the 64 Thunderbird was passed. Let's see here. Oh, what happened? That was passed. The Pontiac Firebird.
Macho.
That guy wanted
Missed
way too
out,
much.
Huh? Yeah, missed out.
Oh,
big
the
time.
41 Willys American
Oh, yeah,
Car
that's
Custom
unique.
Coupe
Oh, those
sold for
Willys are great.
55.
Look at that thing. What a hot rod with
That's awesome.
flames and
We
everything.
talked about the 67 Chevelle SS 396. That sold for 48K. Sunbeam is still going, and the Cadillac Series 62 convertible.
Ooh, Joe, you gonna buy that
Okay.
2014 GT500 Super Snake?
Super Snake.
A little bit
Oh,
on
it's a
that price range.
convertible though.
These are the last.
Is it real?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, I don't
There's just certain cars, man, I just don't think should be convertible.
I'm just not a big convertible guy.
I just think if you're making like
Oh,
a
wow.
Super Snake, that's like supposed to be the fastest model.
Look
Like
at that
why make it
68.
convertible?
The 68. This is ending in 11 minutes. The 68 custom hardtop is up to 71,000.
Go to the description real quick.
Custom hardtop.
400 miles, full restoration, 2012.
560
I mean, that's an
horsepower.
8-year-old. I mean, it's
434.
434. I'd rather have ours.
Stroker.
Yeah.
I do love that year though, the 68 with the bull rolled
Dude,
bull
that thing's
nose
going for
front.
70
I think you
right
have
now.
said that's your favorite Chevelle year.
I
The
love that
69
Chevelle.
is a great look, yeah.
That's a 68.
That's
Oh, okay.
clean.
Oh, dude, that.
I mean, it's
interior's
really well done. It's an
really
automatic.
Nice, yeah.
Dakota gauges,
That
auto
whole
meter.
dash is
Those are
really
auto
cool.
meter
That's
gauges.
all, yeah, that's all custom. or
This
all
car is
upgraded.
closing in 10 minutes. The reserve has been met, so someone will walk away with this
70
car.
grand.
I'd
Dude,
rather have
you think
ours.
it'll hit you think
Hey,
it'll
you
hit
can
high?
enter to win ours, which is better for $8.95.
We have to address this question, just don't understand it, but Rick Nickel asked this question before. Did you fix the brick in the supercharger?
The what?
That's what he said. Did you fix the brick in the supercharger?
Tell
Yes.
Rick to tell Rick to clarify his question, please, and ask him if he's watched the dyno video.
There is no brick in the supercharger.
Watch every single one of our videos, comment on every single one, and then come back to us and ask. I think that's the answer to that.
I'm confused.
Opposite of Fake 85 actually asked a good question. How can I find a person that does car appraising?
There's actually a company we can recommend
There you go.
that we usually send out when we buy a car across the country. We will send out a company, and I want to say it's
Don't
autoappraisal.com.
look at me, Adam. It's not my
Can you
department.
try that real quick? Autoappraisal.com. And just make sure this is the right company that I'm recommending here because we've used them a bunch of times. Yeah,
The
auto
clock in.
appraisal.
It's
Clock.
very hard.
You gotta try to type with that right one. It's 3
Don't
letters.
do a close up on my cloth, please. Very.
Yes, this is them right here. This is them right here. So Auto Appraisal Group, we've used them many times. I can't recommend these guys more. It's about $400, and they will send a professional auto appraiser out to the car you're considering purchasing, and they will take 200 plus photos. They will do paint depth. They'll shoot with the paint gun. They'll do all kinds of stuff. They look at every single thing on it. They will test drive it, and they'll give you I think it's a 4 or 5 page report and 200 plus photos, all from a third party independent appraiser. And so for $400, if you're buying a car for 30, 40, 50, 60, maybe $100,000 is well worth the
Even less than
investment.
that, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it could save you tens of thousands
it
of dollars.
saved us big
It
time.
saved us big time. When we
Yeah.
were considering buying a car, we sent a guy out there and he gave us his honest opinion, which was, hey, don't buy this car.
Wasn't the thing like 50 grand?
The guy wanted a lot of money.
And he
then
said I
after
wouldn't pay 10 for this thing or something like that.
It was, I don't want to get into the details, but it saved us a lot of money in the past.
The Sunbeam Reserve not met.
Oh, at 75.
I was wrong.
You're wrong.
That guy wants more money.
Damn.
Loser.
I was
Reserve
wrong.
not met. That's
What is that? When you're wrong on a reserve, you have to drink, right?
I think so.
That's it.
I wasn't wrong.
Oh,
at all
and
doing
while that was going on, the Cadillac passed as well.
it. Damn, man, lots of
passes.
reserves not being met.
Well, I mean, buyers at Barrett-Jackson aren't used to a lot of reserves because
100%.
Barrett-Jackson in a live auction will not permit. I mean, it's a very special condition when they will grant a reserve. So typically, if you're going to put your car into a Barrett-Jackson auction, you are agreeing to no reserve.
All right, we
So
got
you think of
2
that-
minutes, 35 seconds for a 2014 Shelby GT500 Super Snake convertible. Reserve hasn't been met yet at 60 grand. How
So do
much
you think
they
that
go?
reserve thing is basically because this is a new style of auction and that it's all?
Well, I mean, imagine if you're selling a car at this. Yes, you have the Barrett-Jackson brand, and
Yeah.
yes, they're going to bring a lot of buyers, but it's still, you know,
It's different.
It's uncharted territory for a lot of people. So
That car is amazing though.
that's a cool car.
That thing looks so good.
Joe,
I don't
are
know
you
what's
salivating
going on
right
with
now?
that body
I'm
style.
liking it, but
Is it wide body? That's just bulky looking.
Oh,
Oh,
tiny scratch.
think-
Another
Oh,
tiny
no.
scratch.
Dude, I would rip that whole spoiler right off one curb. first time I go through the In-N-Out parking lot.
If you're not familiar with the damage that Mike will do to a car,
That's not true at all. Don't listen. to
there's a hood in the lobby that would beg to differ.
Yeah, that's true. Just a hood.
All right, we got 1 minute, 38 seconds on that one. In the meantime, the appraisers, what was that?
Autoappraisal.com.
Autoappraisal.
They're not a sponsor, but we do use them exclusively, basically, to send appraisers out. They're a nationwide organization. They'll send an appraiser basically anywhere in the United States.
Crazy detail.
Crazy amount of detail that you're going to get about a car. It's literally almost better than putting eyes on a car yourself
Yeah.
because they have an expert that knows everything about that particular car that you're considering
Yeah.
purchasing,
Yeah.
and they will take every photo of every different imperfection in the car. Again, shoot the paint depth, tell you where the Bondo is, tell you where everything is, and give you an idea of what you're buying. That's just
So
unparalleled.
let's talk for a
500
second
bucks.
about how we find our cars because we've bought them from.
I want to know what
Texas.
Joe's laughing about first.
D Lions 321 says that guy's pinky is fucked.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
This is what happens when you play.
That guy's getting a
Wow.
T-shirt.
Deal.
Fair enough.
Thanks,
Fair
man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. What was your reference the other day? The district.
District 9 hand.
The District
dude.
9 hand,
District
yeah.
9.
My hand.
Oh, my hand run! What the hell's going on?
Anyway, going back to things Restomods.
Anyways.
I'm just gonna tuck that right there for the rest of the interview. When we are looking for our cars, what are you looking for? Where are you looking for? Like, how do we find them? And then make sure that they're in a condition that is obviously good enough to buy, but if there needs a little bit of work, we're gonna do it ourselves. We're gonna talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a group effort for all of us. Everybody here at Restomods loves cars, and so it's kind of like we have, obviously, collaboration tools like Slack, and so people will just constantly be pasting links, and it's like, hey, look at this car, hey, look at this car, hey, look at this car. And then, you know, that's a great part of our jobs, is being able to just look at cars from all
I feel
over
like
the
we
country.
usually start really wide too, and then we kind of
Yeah.
narrow in a little bit.
Well, our
Totally. It's just
classifieds-
anything that we think are cool. I mean, there's at restomods.com. Just go to restomods.com, click for sale. There is tons of killer Restomods, pro street, pro touring cars that are for sale. All of our members are selling their cars. There's cars from across the web. Let me help you guys out here. And when we find something we really, really like, we will send out, unless it's local and we can go put eyes on it ourselves, we will send out an appraiser from auto appraisers, because the cars that we're buying to give away are pretty expensive cars. You know,
Yeah.
they're $50,000 to $70,000, up to $100,000.
Well, and there's so
sometimes.
much discrepancy,
Yeah.
right, between the year, the make, the model, the actual like,
Well, and the
was
work.
done doing.
For us, it's all about the detail and the work that went into the restoration and the mod. So, you know, some people say they have a great car, it photographs really well. We send the guy out and he says, hey, you know what? The entire front half of this car is Bondo. Or, hey, the front clip of this car, the VIN doesn't match the rest of the car. Or anything else that you would really care about as a buyer. So, again, I can't recommend enough autoappraisal.com. Not a sponsor. I've said them about 50 times
And
so
on
far.
on top of that, those guys, like you said they're experts. You know, they know all of this stuff, and they've also gone out and physically seen
Thousands of cars.
thousands of cars, and maybe dozens of the exact same car that you're looking at. So if you're about to spend $50,000 on something, and they say, hey, this is probably worth 35, it's probably worth 35. I mean, those guys are 100% experts. They know exactly what they're doing. And I mean, the other thing on top of finding our cars, one unique thing that we have to deal with is that every single old car is different.
Yep.
And Carter and I talked about this a bit in our Charger drive, but there's cars that have been in a garage with hands on it that had zero clue of what they're doing, crappy welds, and started with all these things. There's cars that have been in the hands of absolute experts, and you can spend $100,000 on that crap car because that person thinks their car is worth $100,000, and if you think it is also, and you give them that money, then it's worth $100,000.
That's what it's worth.
But I mean, there's really like that variation of what you can get for your money, and it always is changing. I mean, there's deals out there for the cars that you're seeing that you think are worth $100,000 that are 60, 75. They're all out there. So it's unique with muscle cars and just finding the one that has the right hands on it, really.
Yeah. Right.
The right hands, not that hand.
Not that
Please
one.
keep that hand away from every car.
Knock on wood. Two for good luck. All right, we're at the 2014 Ford Shelby GT 500 Super Snake convertible. Has been extended numerous times. We first started watching it, it was at 60. It's up to 79. Reserve
78.
still 78. The reserve still has not been met. Which
I thought it was 75.
That must be a super.
I mean, you can go buy a
super
GT
rare.
500 2020 right now for how much, Joe?
Probably like I think it's like 80.
They're like 80 or 100,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
Like 80.
Are they really?
Dude, they're expensive.
Jesus.
Those are up there. But I mean, it's
I'd
also
rather
like,
have a Raptor.
dude, you're competing with Ferraris if you're in that GT, that
Yeah.
new one.
Yeah, that thing's bad.
I mean, that also that Super Snake is. I'm pretty sure there was. Did they only make it in 2014? Those are super rare. They did not make a lot of those.
The Super Snake name has definitely been around since like the early Shelby days.
But are they dropping a Super Snake model every year? You know what I mean? There's the GT 500. Are they making a GT 500 Super Snake with every GT 500? I don't think so.
No.
I think they only made them a certain amount of years. So this is
So
like.
look at the description though. This 2014 GT 500 then went to the Shelby factory in Vegas, the real Shelby factory, and
okay.
became a Super Snake.
So maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
That was kind of. So this is a super special car. I mean, it's.
Anything that passed through that Shelby factory in Vegas, that's all run by Carol's kids. It's
Yep.
still a very, an iconic thing, and it's a very, very limited opportunity. So that's a rare car.
So that Super Snake name is coming from who's putting that work
From-
in. It
yeah,
would be
Shelby.
like your Lingenfelter Camaros and
Exactly.
with Hennessy whatevers.
Yep.
Those guys are taking those cars to the next level.
Yep.
Super badass. It looks really good as a convertible. I take back everything I said earlier too. I think it looks awesome.
I think the other car. We're down to 15 seconds on the Chevelle custom hardtop, the 1960.
Again, this thing's going for 71,000, and I would argue that ours is not only nicer, could smoke this thing.
Oh
Yeah. 3, 2,
Got
1.
horsepower on there anywhere?
560.
560.
Sold $71,000. This
Damn.
1968 Chevelle.
So if you are not that person that bid 71,000 for this 68, come get the 71 that we have parked in our garage.
$9.
Our wheels are better too.
better than
Yeah,
70.
our wheels are better, our look is better, our engine is better.
I mean, I clearly think we're a little bit biased with our black cars also. I mean, we love black cars. If you haven't noticed from the past 10 vehicles we've done, I think we've deviated, 3 or 4 times?
Well, the first one we did was red and black.
So we had a red
Then we
Camaro.
had the red and white. So the first 2 were not black.
That's right.
The red and white 57 Chevy.
Man, now that I say that, we've only done a few black cars. We've
Yeah.
done 2 black Chevelles. We did a black Camaro.
Yeah.
First Mustang was black.
That's right.
Black with
Black
gold
and
stripes
gold.
though.
Yeah.
Still
It
black.
was the Hertz color
It
scheme.
wasn't all black.
We
though.
stick with the black, silver, red. That's the Cobra.
Cobra
red
was
and white
silver
with
with
the-
black
the
stripes.
Let's do a hot pink next time.
Yeah, we can do hot pink. See what
Hot-
people. What do the people think?
hot
What
pink.
colors?
Hot
What
pink
colors
red.
should we do if we were gonna do a
All right.
color that's not black?
Do we have any
silver,
more
or white?
questions? We're getting ready to
What
wrap
would we
this
do?
thing up.
When is the drawing for the Chevelle?
So the drawing for the Chevelle, the deadline to enter for the Chevelle is June 19. And that means that the drawing, so all the entries then go to our third-party sweepstakes company, which is Compliance Sweepstakes Services. They do all the actual sweepstakes heavy lifting and pick the winner at random. And they have to provide a winner 10 days after that. So June 29th, we will have a winner.
All right, quick update. We're up to $85,000.
Boom,
Which is
gone.
sold.
Boom. Yeah.
85.
Wait, how did that happen?
Sold.
Maybe it hit reserve right at the end.
We didn't get the.
Yeah, but they're supposed to extend, right?
I don't know what happened there. That could have been just our internet being a little wonky, but sold for $85K. Wow.
Dude, that thing looks beefy.
Yeah.
I mean, you get something that comes out of the Shelby
Go back
factory.
down real fast. Full wide body package with carbon fiber.
Mm.
With carbon fiber overlay. Yeah, it was definitely something going on with the body. That's pretty cool.
Reminds me of the
85 grand is pretty.
reminds me of the one they drove in that Need for Speed movie.
They're like that.
Yeah, it looked a lot like that
All
one.
right.
It's been a while.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're nearing the end of this broadcast. Do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. That's going to notify you every time we launch some new content. We have a ton of awesome videos planned in the future. We're trying to grow that YouTube audience as we want to continue to create great content for our Car Club members, and that's the best platform to do it. If you're watching on Facebook, share this video. That will really help us out. We're trying to do these every Friday or at least every other Friday, so follow along as we...
And especially a week from today, next Friday, we're going to be going live with the winner of RM9, 1969 Dodge Charger that's been sitting in our garage waiting for him to come collect it. Ronald Gear from Jackson, Missouri is going to be out here a week from today, and so we'll be going live with him. We'll be doing a cruise for charity on Saturday.
Yep.
And so we'll probably be going live sometime in there as well. So make sure you're following on all of our social media platforms. Any last minute questions that are worthy, boys?
What frame is under the 71 Chevelle?
The exact frame it rolled out of the Chevrolet factory with?
Yep.
Deal.
One of the only things that hasn't been changed. I mean,
That's
like
literally
the
the
body
only
and
thing.
the chassis and stuff.
And we only
all-
know that because we've had it up on a lift. We had to do a VIN verification when we did the title transfer on that thing. And I know exactly what that frame looks like. We've had to go through every inch of that thing, and it is solid and original.
Oh, side note, if you want a 2006 Bentley Continental GT, current
I do.
price is $32,500.
Those are great. Those are great cars. I mean, I've seen those going from anywhere from 30 to 60 on those cars. And those cars, when they sold new, I mean, I'm not in love with that. That's a very British color,
Very
that
British
forest green.
color, yeah.
But those cars, when they came out, it's $250,000 car. You know, it's
Yeah,
a
I
twin
think
turbo V12 in those things. It's just those things haul ass, and they're the ultimate in luxury. And the cool part is Bentley now sells all of the electric kits for those for about $4 grand. You can get all of the brand new 2020 electronics and screen in those. So you get the new nav and Bluetooth and all that other stuff. This thing looks like it needs some body work
that's
as well.
crazy
But
to get a $250,000
dude, if you're gonna
car
get
for
this
that.
thing for, it doesn't say reserve not met. So this
No.
thing's gonna
No
sell.
reserve.
For $32,500,
This could be-
I would
this
buy
could
this
be our
car
close.
all day.
Bentley in 10.
That's
Nine.
wild, man, that you can get something that's so luxurious. I mean, brand new,
Bid.
Well, and so badass, dude. That thing is a
And a whole
V12.
ass, no doubt. That
Twin
interior
turbo.
looked like a great place
That's
to
it.
sit.
That was a good.
Dude, at $32,500, that guy stole that car.
Crush. Yeah.
Stole that car.
With only 60,000 miles on it.
Wow.
56. Wow.
Stole that car.
Oh, that was a deal of the day right
Were
there.
you signed up to bid? Couldn't we have bought that car?
I put a max bid of $20K because I didn't want someone clicking on a Shelby GT for $86,000.
Oh, you put a limit on your account?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Why didn't we just
So
buy
we
this?
couldn't get in there?
Why didn't we just buy this Bentley?
We should have. Why weren't you registered?
Dude, that's a resale car. You could resell.
I'm
that
sitting
for
here
good
on the
money, I
couch
feel
drinking
like.
beer. You should have been ready for that. We could have bought that car.
All right. Well, next time I won't be doing that. But it's thanks for everyone tuning in. Jeremy, you want to roll that the intro again at the end? Every other Friday.
Is it an
subscribe to
outro
us.
at the
Yeah, I think it's an outro at the end. Yeah.
But it was the intro. It doesn't matter. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. This will be better next week.
Maybe.